Okay.
Having an interview with a policeman and then accidentally injects himself with drugs.
Hello, why are those all cool?
Do me.
30 seconds, they're all cool.
He's the main guy from Last Man on Earth. He plays Last Man on Earth.
Good afternoon, South Africa, and a very warm welcome to you. This is Afternoon Express. My name is Jeannie D, and of course, welcome to our fantastic Tuesday cook-along. It's always my favorite day and my favorite show of the week because, well, I get to upskill and learn to make something interesting in the kitchen. So today we are joined by our sensational chef, Clem. Welcome again. Always good cooking with you. And of course, we have a fantastic guest today in the loft. Funny, how are you? So lovely to see you.
How are you?
Great. I am so pleased that you are on the show with us today because you've got this tremendous new cookbook out. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How long did it take you to come up with it? All the different recipes?
Sure, it took about like 2 to 3 years.
Wow, so we're definitely celebrating how yummy and delicious. And you've got some interesting stuff in there, from mapani worms to amazing prawn dishes. It all looks really good. I'm going to get stuck into that a little bit later.
Okay.
But first, remember, we are doing our Tuesday cook-along. We want you to cook along with us. And of course, you can call us throughout the show with any questions or comments that you might have for any of our fantastic chefs or our sensational guest. And I'll tell you about who he is a little bit later. But if you do want to call us, all you need to do is give us a call on 021 430 9881. Can't believe I remember that off by heart. So let's get started and see exactly what we're doing. So what are we cooking today?
So we're going to do a beautiful beef trinchado.
I actually know what we're making. I'm so excited. It's my favorite. Okay,
beef trinchado. Yeah, but we're going to serve it with a modern take on a Portuguese roll. Okay? You're going to see why it's so good. But we're going to start off with our bread first. That's going to take the longest time to bake. So get your ovens on to 180, 190. Get your dough ready and all your fillings that you need for it. Your meat right now should be on the side, which is reaching on temperature. Right, so bread's ready. Get your ovens on.
Beef trinchado, nice beef. And remember, we are streaming on YouTube, so visit our YouTube channel as well, and you can join us. So yeah, joining us for our cook-along today is a man who has travelled thousands of kilometres to be in South Africa, and his unique blend of sharp wit and jaw-dropping magic make for a really dynamic and energetic stage performance. Currently in South Africa to perform at the Cape Town Funny Festival, it's Paul Dabek.
The most difficult part, ladies and gentlemen, is actually to make them turn back again. Strap yourself in, love, just an hour and a half of this, okay? Now, if they were really turning from red to white and white to red, you'd be able to bunch them up. You'd be able to have half red, half white, ladies and gentlemen. Watch closely. Half red, half white. Half red, half white. Thank you. Thank you. You see, there's half red, there's half white. You end up with it just like that. I don't know how it happens. It's very strange. You're too... You guys.
So funny. Welcome to the show,
Thank
Paul.
you so much. It's great to be here.
And of course, welcome to South Africa.
I'm loving it. It's lovely to be here. It's
now,
wonderful.
I've got a newfound respect for all of you, comedians, magicians alike, because on Friday I had to go and deliver a 5-minute stand-up comedy set last week, Friday.
Oh, my goodness.
And I just thought it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
How did it go? Did they love you?
It went well.
You didn't
it went
die?
Okay. No.
That's good.
But
That's good.
you know what I was thinking of? Like, if you're just doing comedy, you have an opportunity to... If your joke doesn't go as... You can quickly fix it just with words. But with magic, what do you do if a magic trick doesn't work well?
Well, that never happens.
Obviously
that never
happens to you.
That never happens. Well, that's why I do magic and comedy, you see. On a good night, it's magic and comedy, and on a bad night, it's just magic. So.
Right. Well, it's so magic to have you here today.
It's great to be here.
I want to go back to the beginning when you decided to venture into the world of magic? I mean, how old were you, and what gave you that inspiration?
Gosh, I think I was about 4 years old. I was about 4 years old,
Oh, wow.
and I was just obsessed with magic as a child. And my parents would always videotape whatever was on the TV at the time, any magician performing, and I just watch it religiously, and I would grab the throw off the couch and put it round me like a cape and pretend to do this magic, and of course it was horrendous, it was terrible, but my parents were so supportive, they've all pretend to be so amazed. And then I was probably about 11 or 12 when I started really getting into magic. I found a magic book in my local library, and that just lit the flame, and it was up and away, hopefully from there.
Now, it's one thing to be able to find a magic book and be able to read it and enjoy it, but it's another thing making a professional career out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you must have been really good in order to earn a living.
The best in my price range, that's what I would say. Yeah, well, it is. I actually was a school dropout. I left school at 16.
Did you really?
And
why?
Why? I was already performing quite a lot. In the UK, you finish secondary school at 16, you can go on to college. And my plan was to go on to drama school, but I'd decided to take a couple of years to sort of get a bit of life experience before I auditioned for drama school, because I was doing some acting alongside the magic.
Yeah.
And whilst I was taking those 2 years off, I needed to get a job. And it was either go and work with my father on the construction site, please, or it was get absolutely, and he'd tell you that. But and I started doing children's parties and weddings and little functions doing magic, and the 2 years passed, and the magic had kind of taken off, and that was it. I never looked back.
Amazing. And now magic sees you seeing the world, essentially. I mean, you're in South Africa at the wrong time, let me tell you.
Well, I've lost our 2 weeks of summer in the UK.
Yeah, instead of chasing the summer, you're kind of chasing winters. But you are getting to travel all over the world. I mean, what is your schedule like?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. This year so far, I've done a tour in Australia at the beginning of the year. I was in Singapore, I was in Vietnam, I was in the USA, I was in California, and now I'm over here in South Africa, off to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival next month, which is a great comedy and arts festival which runs for a whole month, and then over to Australia again in September.
Well, I'm sure you'll find that South African audiences are probably the best in the world, the best you're going to find.
I have to say, they've been pretty off the chain in over at the Baxter. We've had 2 weeks already of the festival, and they've been fantastic.
Yeah, so you're here for the Jive Funny Festival.
Yes, yeah.
And so far it's been an absolutely huge hit.
It's been such a great success.
But I mean, I love going to the Baxter and I love going to those shows, but do you think you couldn't give me just a
little taster of something? Okay, let's see. Well, obviously, I flew over here from London, and that's a journey that takes, I think, direct flights about 11 and a half, 12 hours.
Okay. I see you brought some
I brought
pounds.
some money. I brought some English pounds, but I thought we'd try and maybe make
that's
that
10
journey
pounds, that's about £500,000.
a little bit quicker than 11 or 12 hours with this £10 note. So it happens very quickly, but I'll show you as cleanly as I can. You take the £10 note and you just fold it once, twice, thrice and 4 times, and if you blow, what actually happens is it starts to develop, sort of like film. And there you've got, and that's actually quite a good exchange rate. You won't find any better.
Never. Oh, well, I've got a bunch of rands. Can you get me to do that?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
That is amazing. I'm always completely blown away when I watch tricks like that, because I watch for a slip-up or the trick, but I never ever see it. What are the rules of magic? How do you maintain that mystery and that smoke and mirrors?
Well, misdirection is a big part of it, and that's one of the things, being a comedy magician. You know, when people are laughing, maybe their attention's broken slightly, they might not be looking in the right place. So, you know, misdirection is a really fundamental part of magic and performing magic. Sleight of hand, which is what I just showed you. Then you've got, you know, large stage illusion. Sleight of hand really is the fundamental rules of it come from misdirection, and I use a little bit of sleight of hand in another way in my show. because I perform an art called shadowgraphy, or hand shadows
We're
as
going to
well.
see that a little bit later. Hey?
Yeah.
I'm looking so forward to that. You are sensational. I'm so happy to have you here today.
Oh, thank you
But
so
I must ask, I mean, I saw how the sleight of hand and you look like you got some skills with the magic. How are your kitchen skills?
Do you know what? I don't want to big myself up too much, but I am the cook in my house. I am the cook in my house.
Okay.
But never cooked any Portuguese food before. So.
Well, today's your day, my darling.
It's my lucky day.
Well, he may be magic on stage, but can he spin magic in the kitchen? We'll be putting Paul to the test in a bit later on. Now, today's cook-along recipe celebrates everything Portuguese. And after the break, we take a look at first-of-its-kind festival in South Africa that showcases the culture and, of course, the spirit of the Portuguese island of Madeira. Welcome back to Afternoon Express this fabulous Tuesday afternoon for our Tuesday cook-along. Now, did you know a Caravela is a small sailing ship developed in the 15th century by the Portuguese? Now, it's a beautiful representation of Portuguese history and culture and served as the inspiration for a fun-filled festival where South Africans could feel like they'd stepped onto one of Portugal's most popular islands.
A first of its kind, the Caravela Portuguese Festival is a celebration of the culture, people and spirit of Madeira.
The Caravela Festival today and the carnival that you see here is all about Madeira, because many of our Portuguese in South Africa originate from the beautiful island of Madeira.
A sweet celebration of the magnificent island was in the form of a 2-ton cake. Paul Vieira of Cake Extreme created the cake in the shape of Madeira Island in a world record bid.
This challenge started by a dream. my dream of doing an amazing big cake. I couldn't imagine it would be possible, but we did. We used over 10,800 eggs, more than half a tons of flour. I mean, it took us over 4 days to bake this with the entire team back at the bakery. And the size of the cake is quite amazing. It's a 12 meters by 5.5 meters.
Food is an integral part of Portuguese gatherings, so naturally the festival boasted a seemingly endless array of traditional Portuguese dishes bursting with flavour.
Okay, that is a espetada, very traditional Madeira dish. It's cubed ram steak, put in coarse salt, fresh garlic and crushed bay leaves.
The aim of the festival was to promote unity among South Africans across cultural groups. The profits were distributed among feeding schemes, so this was where a good cause, good friends and good food meet.
This is our traditional Portuguese chicken. We marinate it with white wine, garlic, bay leaf, paprika and that. And we cook them from fresh like that on a hot coal. The history and the cultural influence on this was when the travelers from Portugal went down through to Mozambique and took a bit of the Portuguese flavor and mixed it in with the Mozambican flavor.
What's a party without great live entertainment? This celebration featured a sensational lineup of DJs, musos and high-energy dancers.
The inspiration behind the group is we're coming from different backgrounds, different races, different genres of hip-hop, but when we get together we dance exactly the same, and that's how we named each other the Precision Crew.
Hey man, I really love it when people get together, man. It's a beautiful thing and it's nice to see people supporting something new, supporting each other and just having a good time. Families, friends, just loving each other. That's really what I love to see.
Oh, beautiful. Magnifique. 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 Magnifique.
Oh, that's great.
Because we are French speaking and it's beautiful.
Just the Portuguese culture, everybody's family, so everybody has a good time together.
There's so many people that it just creates such a vibe and you just enjoy it all the time.
Well, I'm a person who likes to explore different cultures and experience them. So, like, it's been nice to experience, like, the dancing.
I think I love the food the best for the culture. Food is definitely the best.
Well, I'm Portuguese myself, so everything about it is just the vibes, everything is like that.
I enjoyed the VR sets by the entrance at Skyfi.
Well, I like the food because it's really delicious. And yeah, and the dancing.
What we love most about the Portuguese culture is the unity. All of us together, everybody, everything, anybody, everywhere.
And our family, we eat and we drink and we have a good time on Sundays because the shop is closed. The rest of the week, the shop is open. So today we can close it. Thank you.
Us and all the family, have a look behind us. Look at us. Look, we're all here. And we want more. More. Everybody must be here. All race, everybody, please.
Music, food, smiles and joy all around. What a wonderful way for people to celebrate life and enjoy the wonderful magic of Madeira right here in South Africa.
Wow, that really does look like such a fun festival. The Portuguese people do know how to party. Now, get your knives and pans ready because after the break, we're exploring those Portuguese roots in our cook-along by making a traditional trinchado. So you can learn how to make or taste a bit of Portugal after the break. We'll be right back. welcome back to Afternoon Express for our fabulous Tuesday cook-along. Now, before we get started on our cook-along, SABC3 is offering you the opportunity of a lifetime. Have you ever wanted to get up close and personal with your favorite TV personalities, sports stars or celebrities? Well, you can be part of The Journey 2018. It's a weekend away like no other. From the 23rd to the 26th of February 2018, you can board the luxury MSC Symphonia cruise ship along with your favorite South African celebs. If you want to be part of it, visit thejourneycruise.co.za to book your cabin now. T's and C's do apply. Now, speaking about travel, tomorrow I'm really going to Portugal. Like to visit the land where all of this tasty food comes from. So I'm going to be very inspired to eat all of this, but I would love to take you along. But today you're going to give me a taste of Portugal. Put it that way. And of course, we're joined by our fantastic guests. We've of course got Chef Funi in the house and then Paul Dabek. So are you excited to get started?
I'm pretty excited. I'm raring to go.
All right.
Start your engines.
Clem? So we're going to start off with our little buns first. Now, I call this a modern take on Portuguese rolls because what we're doing is we're kind of creating the flavour of the trinchado but putting it inside the bread. Okay? Ooh. A little bit of cheese, a little bit of like a couple of herbs just for like add a flavour. Sound good?
Okay, yeah, cool. Definitely.
So Funi and I will start chopping the herbs for the filling. And I'm going to ask the two of you to do, Paul and Judy, to put a little sprinkling of flour on your surface first. I'm going to put you to work on the dough.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Are you joking? He's a famous magician. He's really good at making dough. We watched him make dough disappear just now. Okay.
The first thing, little sprinkling.
Yeah.
Sprinkle a little bit of.
Just a little sprinkling. So we've actually made the dough for you today, and it's really easy. It's flour, water, yeast, a little bit of salt, and we put it all together. And we've done all the kneading for you. But I thought because Funi was actually one of my chef lecturers, so I want to let him teach you like basically how to knead dough properly. So Funi, you can take it away.
Okay. All right.
You need to be gentle, eh?
Okay.
That's what we
I'll try.
say. A little bit of your...
Yeah.
Oops.
Very magical. That was very magical.
Yeah, not too much, eh?
You have to do another job.
Okay. Why can't you put too much flour in? Because will it dry it out too much?
It's going to dry too much, yeah.
Okay.
See, not too much, and then now you can continue. Not more than 5 times.
Not more than 5 times. And then what am I supposed to be getting? Like,
what you're looking for is a nice rectangle.
Yes,
that's our shape. So we actually, and we're rolling out our dough directly on the Caesar stone countertop because it's not porous. It's actually safe for us to do that.
Okay.
So, actually, you know, if you need to go more than 5 times, if you need, hey. What's wrong?
I'm struggling with shapes now. What am I doing?
The rectangle, that's the one that's like two squares put together.
Okay. I just know how to throw shapes on a dance floor, not on a kitchen counter.
All right.
Mine's looking a bit like a pizza.
Okay, you can go more than 5 times. We can get it nice and thin.
Okay. You're getting there.
So let's see. You know, there's a good tip. So if you want to get it more in shape, you can actually pick it up every now and then. Just kind of like stretch it out.
Oh, I did that without even knowing.
I know, look at you.
Gee.
Genius.
Thank you. And of course, if you are at home, join us today cooking this delicious Portuguese feast. And all you need to do is give us a call on 021-430-9881, especially if you've got any questions or comments for our fantastic guests. But this is going to be a dish that you're going to want to cook.
It's smelling good. I think that's just the smell of the yeast in the bread already. So, Funi, we've got some thyme and some rosemary. We're going to start chopping that up for the filling of our breads.
I think my bread's looking like a pizza.
You know what? It's a rustic rectangle.
Nothing about this says Portuguese roll.
It's got character.
Except the flour.
All right. So that's looking good. Paul, I really like yours. Jeannie, yours is there. I do you want to straighten that a little bit.
Do I?
I'll tell you why it should be a little straighter than that, because we're actually going to end up rolling it up like a sausage and then cutting it. So we can kind of get like a nice spiral effect on the inside.
Oh, yes.
There we
What's
go.
that bread called? Kitka? Colour? The Jewish bread?
Well, the kitka one is just knotted and planted in the sense.
So is it going to be like a Portuguese kitka?
You can totally, if that's the direction you want to take it.
Okay.
Well, that's looking good. That's looking very good. Okay, so here we go. Some rosemary and thyme together, bunched up nicely. We're going to give that a little bit of a rough chop. And then I've got some lemon for you as well, that side, and a grater, so you can just like get a little bit of that lemon zest. I've actually used a veggie peeler.
Yeah.
If you have if you don't have a grater at home, or if you've got a veggie peeler at home, try getting zest like this. Just easily take a little bit of it off, and you can just chop that up to get your nice zest.
Okay.
Perfect.
A little bit of magic.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
The easy one.
I'm going to go
looks like it should
the
be
easy
going in a
route.
The easy
cocktail.
route.
Okay.
All right, so it's going really well. Things are smelling really, really good now. So Paul, can you start sprinkling over the thyme and the rosemary?
I'm glad you're dealing with the knife because these hands are important. I mean,
That's so true. What would have to happen if you got injured?
Goodness me, I don't know.
Do you have like magic insurance or something?
Yeah, absolutely. I should get magic insurance for sure.
Yeah. Is it true that did I hear that you had a kids' magic show that you called I Don't Like Children?
It's called the I Hate Children
I Hate
Absolutely. Champagne for parents and disappointment for children. That's our catchphrase.
That is amazing. I have to ask how you managed to come up with that, because that's genius.
Well, the show I perform alongside my good friend who actually came up with the concept, my good friend Paul Nathan, who's a magician out in San Francisco. And he lost a bet that he had to create a children's show, a children's magic show. And the product of which is the I Hate Children children's show, but it's become really successful. So we actually won the best children's show at the Adelaide Fringe this year, and it's an interactive children's magic show.
That is amazing.
You know, we're not too mean to the kids. You know, it's character building. That's what we call it.
But
anyway.
children must be quite a difficult audience. Like out of all of your audiences that you've ever had, who's been the toughest?
Yeah, kids are pretty tough because I mean they will just they don't care. They will just tell you how it is. You know, so we try to tell them how it is a little bit.
Well, congratulations on that win. That's a great name for a children's show.
All right. So you got your lemon zest in there. I'll give this a sprinkle. Herbs are in. So I've got some mozzarella now, but instead of grating it, I actually just want to cube it roughly. So Finn, if you'll do that for Jeannie, start cubing some mozzarella.
All right.
And what you can do now is actually start turning. You can turn your dough on the long. We can actually get ready to start.
This way around?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Oh.
We should have done that in the beginning, maybe. Just say.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh no! Look, I'm ruining all your good sprinkling work.
You've got a lot of lemon zest on there.
Look,
there we go.
I got the magic sprinkle there. It's the magic dust.
But we don't want ours too lemony.
Yeah. And then I've got some onion marmalade for you. That's in that grey bowl over there.
Beautiful.
You got your onion marmalade inside, Jeannie.
Excuse me, I was busy discussing how we're going to... No, this is how competitive we are. We're busy discussing that yours is going to be more lemony and ours is going to be more cheesy.
Oh, okay. That's no problem. So you've got some onion marmalade there. You can kind of just start... You've got a spoon there.
Okay.
You can start dotting it around your dough.
Oh, my. Smells amazing already.
And that's onion... we actually made it ourselves. It's some brown sugar in there, some vinegar, obviously some red onions, just slowly cooked until it's super jammy, just like that.
It's lovely.
That's the element of the trinchado part. So we're not going to add wine to our dough, but we did cook it in some red wine vinegar, the onions, that is.
I mean, this is already looking so delicious that, you know, I don't know how countries feel where you adapt their, like, original recipes, but I'm pretty sure this is quite a sensational adaptation of the Portuguese roll. Did you invent it yourself?
Yeah, do you want to take some with you to Portugal?
Definitely. I don't eat airplane food, so
Who does?
All right, that's looking good.
Is that okay?
Perfect. So now we're going to start rolling this guy up.
This whole thing.
So you're going to start at the bottom.
Okay.
And you're going to keep it nice and tight. Are you guys ready?
No.
Not yet.
Okay, let's
I'm a perfectionist.
Everything needs to be so...
I have to say.
The spacing has to be correct,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because you don't want a chunk there, not a chunk there. Okay, so let's move on.
I'm feeling a bit self-conscious about mine now. Yours is looking very well arranged.
Okay, so we're going to start rolling now.
Okay.
I think Jeannie's ready now.
No, I'm on a roll. Start rolling.
All right, so you start at the bottom and just kind of start crimping it and folding it over, keeping it nice and tight.
Yeah.
And it'll fold over again. So essentially what you're creating is a nice spiral within the dough.
Okay.
I like it. It's so delicate. That's
amazing. Yeah, absolutely.
It's because he's got magic delicate
there must be some magic going on.
You see why these never would have made a construction site there, you see?
That's looking so good. How's yours looking, Jeannie? Yours is looking amazing.
I mean, I don't have such delicate hands. But I'm trying my best.
I know, you've got a bit of more showbiz bling on yours than mine. So.
Oh, yeah. Jeannie from the block. Okay, but what happens if my one side is... I've got kind of a twister. I've got one really thick side and one thin side.
You know what? That's fine. It's still going to slice really well, so it's perfect. Cool. So we've got now our big sausage, looking good.
Yeah.
So we're going to move to the next step, Salam, okay? Cool.
Okay.
Food is gone. Food is gone. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to share a baking tray, and at the end we're going to guess whose is whose, okay? Alright, okay. So we're going to start cutting a little bit of I'd say that's about 5 centimeters. Mm-hmm. And as you can see now, you got all that beautiful goodness on the inside.
Oh, I can't wait to eat this.
So you got the cheese, we got the onion marmalade and those herbs.
Oh.
It smells, you can actually eat it just like, no, don't. Alright.
It does look delicious, just like this. Do you want me to
There we go.
pack it
And
in?
pack it nice and tightly as well. So I'm going to keep on doing some more.
Yeah. I'll be the roll packer.
Beautiful.
Oh, so
we
we're just
found
going to
our
mix
lot
it.
in
So now,
life.
we're not going to. It's fine. It's okay. So keep them packed them all nice and tightly, cut side up. In the oven, they are going to puff up as well, but it's quite nice when they all puff up together. So
you can tear them apart.
There we go. Absolutely. There is cheese inside, but a little later we'll do a sprinkling of some more cheese over the top. If anybody's got a problem with that, now's the time to speak up.
No.
No
Not
problem.
Not at all.
My bikini body might have a problem with that tomorrow, but I mean, we'll discuss. That's tomorrow's problem.
So these make for awesome canapes as well if you're doing a dinner party. You can, once you've packed your tray, you can freeze the whole tray.
Oh,
and
wow,
then
okay.
keep for about 6 months.
Wow.
Oh, I like that.
This
I
will
like
never
that.
last 6 months.
All right, so we're doing really well.
Look at that.
There you go.
So this is going to go to our preheated oven for about half an hour. And all the cheese will melt beautifully, the onions will start like bubbling, and the bread's going to be perfectly cooked. I like how delicate you guys are being.
Well, I love the fact that you just left me to do everything. And it's just like, I'm the glamorous assistant for a change, I suppose. I'm getting my comeuppance. Magicians have had glamorous assistants for so long.
Well, I think you're doing a fantastic job. All right.
How are we getting on there?
Amazing! How delicious does this look? And I'm pretty sure that you're enjoying yourself whipping this up at home. Remember, you've got to give us a call if you are cooking with us with any questions or comments for our fantastic guests. But when we come back, we're going to take a quick break, and then you can give us a call on 021 430 9881. But when we come back, we find out more about our fantastic comedian, cum magician, Paul Dabek. Welcome back to Afternoon Express, and of course today is one of my favourite shows of the week because of course it is the Tuesday Cook-Along. We're here with our sensational guests. We've got Chef Funi in the loft, and of course funny man and amazing magician Paul Dabek. I've got to tell you something about your name because you've been here for a couple of weeks. Do you know what in Afrikaans Dabek means the mouth?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
And you've got quite a beck on you as well.
Yeah. It has been said before.
All right, Clem, we're going to get started now. Our rolls are in the oven, and now we're going to get started with the rest of our Portuguese magicness.
Exactly. So I've got this very beautiful piece of rump steak over here.
Wow.
And we're going to make a trinchado out of this guy. But because a lot of people don't eat red meat, strange, that's not me. It's not me. But some people don't eat red meat. We've got some chicken on the side as well.
Okay.
But also thinking about cost as well. Chicken breast costs a lot less than a big rump like this would. So playing around with alternatives is a great, like, a way to get everyone happy in the kitchen.
Exactly.
Vegetables also. Have you had a vegetable trinchado?
No, but I don't eat beef or chicken, so I'm going vegetable
It's a real
trinchado.
thing. So you roast some beautiful pumpkin, some baby marrows, toss in the trinchado sauce. It's absolutely amazing.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a winner for me. I can just tell this is my winter dish.
There we go. So what I need you to do is, Foodie's going to just give you a hand there. We're going to keep the chicken breast quite chunky. Like, I'd say cut one breast into like 4 to 3 pieces.
Like a stew size.
You really want to see the chicken when you're actually eating it. You don't want it to be too small that it just kind of like shreds in the sauce. We're going to do the same with us. So let me actually swap sides with you, Paul.
Okay.
I just want to get the stove on real quick. You're going to want a nice high heat with this one as well because you want to get a nice crust on the meat.
So must I start cutting this?
You can start cutting that. So I think you should work this side. I'll leave exactly where you were. I'll get our stove on.
Fantastic.
Let's see how good I am at cutting the chicken.
Okay. There we go. And the other one also for you.
So you were Clem's lecturer.
Yes.
So you would be able to tell me if I'm doing a fine job and if I've got actually any talent in the kitchen whatsoever.
By the look of it you are getting there, I think you do have a talent.
Thank you. How's that looking?
Not bad at all. Perfect.
All right.
Yeah.
That's quite a big block, but that's fine.
Yeah, you need to fill the meat, eh?
Okay, that's good advice. Feel the meat. All right. Clem, how's it going there?
We just started now. So we are looking for nice, big, chunky pieces of steak, like I said. So, Paul, you're doing an absolute brilliant job. While you're busy doing that, I want to make a marinade for both of our meats.
Okay.
Again, simple thyme and rosemary going in there.
Is there a difference between a meat marinade versus a chicken marinade?
No, it's going to do exactly the same job. It's going to just penetrate the meat, give it some nice flavor. So it's going to be the same thing. That's why we're making one marinade. So in goes some thyme. Paul, you're doing an amazing job.
Great.
And I've got some rosemary.
Oh.
We love garlic on the show. Do you find with that?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. For sure.
Right.
Love the garlic.
So you said that you're quite a good cook. What would your go-to recipe be?
Oh, I didn't say good. I said I do the cooking at my house. I didn't say good, but compared to the alternative cook in the house, yeah, I'm a good cook.
Okay. And what would that dish be, the good one?
Oh, you know what? I love Mediterranean food, so this is amazing for me. I've not cooked Portuguese before, but I do like cooking Italian fresh pasta. I like to make my own pasta. Asian food too. Really enjoy Thai. So yeah, but this is really interesting for me because I have some South African friends back home. They're pretty mad on their steak and their barbecue. And they've told me that the steak's pretty good out here. So this is
really good.
This is great.
Fantastic. And we do have a caller on the line. We've got Sandy, I think it is. Hi, Sandy. Thanks for calling Afternoon Express. What's your question or comment?
Hi, Sandy. Thanks for calling Afternoon Express. What's your question or comment?
That was magic. I just heard myself. Sandy, can you turn your TV off a notch?
Are you leaving this on?
Sandy?
Oh no, we lost Sandy, but thank you very much for your call.
Okay, it would have been amazing. But maybe call back. Absolutely. Okay, so you got your beautiful cube chicken. What you're going to do now is you're going to put it back into the bowl that you got it from. We got our steaks. We can do that. We can pop it back in. And steak and chicken both, we're using the breast, we're using a rump, they both love salt and pepper, so don't be shy with that. I've got the marinade that I've made here, which is garlic, thyme, rosemary, a little more garlic, red wine vinegar, and canola oil.
Amazing.
So it's quite strong flavors. So let's give it some seasoning, just over here.
So exactly what you would do to the chicken, you can do to the meat.
So just drizzle some of this over our steak, and you can pass that to Team Chicken.
Okay, there we go.
Thank you.
And you got your tongs in. You can start massaging the meat, getting all those flavors in there.
Too much.
No such thing as too much. Oh, with salt. Yes.
I put a little bit too much salt. Oh, this is where I go wrong. Okay, let me mix it up. Is it not too much? No. Okay, good.
All right. So if you have a look at your pans right now, let me just come behind you again.
Marinate.
I'm going to turn the heat up, get some oil in there for you.
Is that olive oil? Or
that's canola oil. What I've got here is a little bit of canola oil as well.
Ooh.
Can you smell that red wine vinegar and the beautiful garlic in there?
You know what the problem is when you're cooking with things like this that are so tasty, is that when you are mixing it together, I'm always so tempted to lick my fingers.
No.
That really wouldn't be too tasty now.
All right, cool. That's looking amazing.
Well,
you really do know what you're doing in the kitchen.
Well, I know, yes. I'm a good stirrer.
All right, now let's see how good
and
you
I'm
are.
a pourer. What a team.
Okay. The smoke, you can see the smoke's now forming over our pan. So I'm going to ask you to start searing off our steaks.
Brilliant.
So there's a big rule when you start browning off meat. Once it hits the pan, let's actually swirl it so you got a nice even layer of oil. Once it hits the pan, you don't want to mess with it. You want to give it a good 30 seconds to kind of form that crust.
Okay.
So you can go for it.
Same for chicken, for chicken.
Go for chicken.
I'm going. Gee, my granny's going to be so proud of me that I'm actually learning how to make a Portuguese dish. It's taken me this long to actually learn to make something.
And are you sizzling there, Jeannie?
Am I what?
Are you sizzling in the pan?
I'm sizzling in this kitchen. I don't know if the pan is sizzling.
All right.
Okay.
And Claire, I think you need not to put too much on it because otherwise we're going to touch each other and the juice is going to come out and the meat is going to become...
Have I put too much in?
No, ours is perfect.
It would be.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. That's fine. So I'm going to leave you in charge of that stuff. We're going to give it like 30 seconds.
30 seconds or so.
And we'll turn it around and we'll see if we got that nice color on it. Because a lot of the trinchado's flavor comes from the browning of the meat.
Yeah.
So we are going to use a bit of stock, but you get a lot of flavor from initially browning of your steak or your chicken. So you let that go. Jeannie, how's your heat? You want to turn it up a bit?
Yeah, can I?
Okay, so
or is it fine? Kim, I want to ask you, because meat is, like especially this kind of meat, is best when it's really, really tender. You know, when you take a bite and it's like the flesh is very buttery. What is the trick to get meat as tender as possible?
So by using a marinade, that breaks down the protein fibers in the meat. So for instance, in our steak right now, so it's going to end up being a lot more tender. Also cooking correctly by not overcooking it and not fiddling with it once it hits the pan.
Okay.
That way you actually lock the juices inside the meat that you're busy cooking.
Okay, so that's with meat, but with chicken it's got to be thoroughly cooked, otherwise we get salmonella. Hey?
Yeah, don't be going to that dinner party where the people ask you how would you like your chicken done. Okay? Leave, right? The chicken's got to be cooked through.
So I can't ask my guests that. How do you like
No.
the chicken done?
All right, so Funi, I've got a red onion there for you.
Okay.
We're just going to chop this up. This is going to be the start of our trinchado sauce. So like, I think Funi, because Funi, you actually did give me my first knife lesson course. So how about you show us the best way to actually like roughly chop an onion?
Okay, now going back now to first year, to me already fail. Because you need to have the stem so that you can be able to hold on.
Okay.
Whoa!
Okay.
Okay, and then from there you check your onion. We'll go back to class now, Claire. Just like that.
All right, okay.
You get it?
Yeah, I got it. Let's
Okay,
go. So
like cut your onion in half. Then with your knife, from backwise, that's why you need to start. Can you see? If you see the onion, because some lines in there, you can follow those lines. For people like Jen who don't know how to, they can just follow those lines.
Okay.
And then from there, you can cut, depending on the onion, how big it is. You're gonna also just make a nice light on it there.
You see, I would have lost a
And
finger by
then
now.
from there, just like slowly, can you see? You're gonna have to give it a try.
Can I?
Perfect.
I'm going to burn that.
Okay, I'll help you this side.
Okay, wait.
Now,
how
your
did you...
fingers, you need to be able to, yes.
I mean, I've seen that done before, but it just doesn't feel very comfortable.
But if you get used to it, it will be quick.
Okay, I just cut an onion.
Wow. Okay.
more one of those.
Do you want it fine chopped or rough chopped?
A nice rough chop is good.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've got mine looking good. Our meat's looking good, so we can actually get that out of the pan. We don't want to overcook it.
Okay, where's that going in here?
Into the back into that black bowl. And then once you've got a little bit of color on your chicken, Jeannie, you can pop it into your bowl that's in front of you. There's the oval bowl.
Are you joking? I think that you definitely got the hotter stove.
Okay, you know what? Let it go. That's perfectly fine. So we're going to continue cooking that until it gets a bit of color on it.
Yeah.
But what you want to do is very important. Once you have some nice caramelization in the pan, you want to add those onions immediately so they can start cooking in those juices.
Good, eh?
Oh, okay.
There we
so
go.
How good does that look?
Great.
Beautiful.
Smells amazing.
That looks delicious.
We'll use that in a second. Let's get those onions in there.
Okay, now you know what the word is for that in Portuguese? Moilu.
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 Okay.
Now what moilu is that extra little bit in the pan that after your dish has been cooked, you want to take the bread and dip it in that extra sauce. So that is going to make the moilu. I cannot wait. All right, we're going to take a quick break while we're making the meat for our Portuguese trinchado. We'll be back in a while continuing with this fantastic taste of Portugal. Welcome back to Afternoon Express, this gorgeous Tuesday, while we are in the kitchen making a whole variety of versions of the Portuguese trinchado. We've got a beef one going over here, we've got a chicken one over here, and of course for those of you at home who don't eat beef or chicken, we've also got a veggie option available. So what do you use, what can you use in the veggie one?
I think to replicate the meat, what you can do is use mushrooms. That always gives you that like beefy or meaty texture. That's really great. And then pumpkin. Pumpkin's got a lot of flavor in it, and it seems to really love the flavors of the trinchado sauce.
Okay.
So if you roast off mushrooms with some pumpkin, that'll be really, really great. And while you add it, chuck in some carrots and some baby marrow.
Okay. So if you are at home making the vegetarian option now, then this is where you would start your sauce?
Absolutely, because you don't need to have any of the, what did you call that word?
Moilu.
You don't need any of that from the vegetables. That's perfectly fine. So let's just start cooking off your onions, and the next thing to go is going to be your garlic. So garlic's going to go in.
Yes. Great.
And some bay leaves.
And I do have to tell you, during the break, I went to the oven and I had a little peek of those bread rolls. Wow.
We're going to let them go for a little longer, yeah. So things are smelling really good right now.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It smells amazing, but you know, garlic is it's always there. As soon as the garlic's in the pan, you're happy, but I'm pretty close to feasting on that before we even get any further, so I think we better get on with it, otherwise I'm going to just chow down on that steak.
Okay, cool. So, everything's looking good. Garlic's in, bay leaves in. Now comes a little bit of brandy. Ooh. This is optional, but it does give it some really nice depth. Don't worry, it's not going to flambe.
Do you just want a shot of it for your nerves?
There we go, a little bit of that. You want to stir through the onions. What this does is this also picks up a lot of that little bits of like brown goodness that's at the bottom of the pan. Things are literally smelling very good right now with all the steam coming off.
Oh, yes.
Okay, cool. Little bit of red wine.
Red wine as well. I'm going to have to be careful. I've got to go and do a show after this.
No, but actually, even I know this. The alcohol actually cooks out, which means this is also suitable for children to eat because the alcohol burns out, therefore it's not harmful to anybody who doesn't consume alcohol.
That's very, very true.
I just threw all the wine in there.
That's fine.
Because I meant to.
That's okay. Yes, you were.
Okay,
you were meant
good.
to leave some for us.
Okay. So that's going to come up to temperature in a bit. When we get that bubbling, that's going to be fun. Don't worry about that, Jeannie. What we're going to do over here so long is we're going to start adding a little bit of stock. Yeah, like you mentioned, the bubbling and the cooking of the alcohol. So you want to see bubbles, and that's when you know that you're actually cooking off that alcohol. Alcohol's actually bitter. So if you don't cook it out, it's going to be slightly bitter. We don't want that. So in goes a little bit of stock. And I'm going to ask you to pass it along to the end. We're going to shave stock today.
Thank you.
And I feel like you get a lot of richness in the trinchado sauce by adding butter. And it wouldn't be a cook-along if I didn't add like a kilogram of butter to the dish. So in goes...
of course.
Wow.
1, 2, oops. 1, 2, 3 knobs of butter.
3 for us.
3 knobs.
I like it. Let's just get more and more decadent.
Yeah, so that's going to start melting through. And you see it's going to kind of thicken already just with the butter being in there, which is really, really cool.
Amazing. Oh, this is going to be so delicious.
So, Funi, could I ask if you could grate some more mozzarella for us, just so when our rolls come out, just to do a nice sprinkling of that can melt over our buns?
And then can I ask you, what is your highlight to being a magician? Like, throughout your career, what has been that one moment where you've gone, man, what a time to be alive?
Do you know what? I think it's really hard to pick out one moment. I think probably the first time, when I was about 17, I won a major competition in the UK, which is by the Magic Circle, which is our sort of governing body of magic, as it were. And I competed against a load of other young magicians.
That actually exists, like the same Harry Potter.
Yeah. And it's just like Hogwarts, And so I won the Young Magician of the Year when I was 17, and that was kind of the little springboard for my career. So I think that'd probably be the highlight for me, for sure.
Amazing.
Apart from, of course, being in beautiful Cape Town and in South Africa performing.
So you haven't run into any brick walls lately?
No, not at the moment.
What can audiences expect from your show here in Cape Town, the Jive Funny Festival?
Yeah, I'm performing alongside 2 other international speciality acts and also some fantastic South African comedians as well. So I'm performing a little bit of my hand shadowgraphy. I'm performing lots of audience participation. So the front row and second row beware. And then we've got 2 awesome speciality acts, Mario, Queen of the Circus, and Frodo, Captain Frodo, who's a contortionist. So
amazing.
There's a lot to see down there. There's a lot to see.
All right, and while we contemplate that magic, what do we do with this magic?
Okay, so we want to bring your sauce to a boil, but that's totally fine. We can actually focus on this one for now. Let's finish this one up. So I've got some cream on the side, if you could pass that to us.
Great.
So up until now, it's kind of like a sort of Portuguese coq au vin or something. The sauce is
exactly
bay leaf.
Do you want me to get the bread rolls in the meantime?
Sure. The cloth underneath you, if you're going to do that. While you're doing that, we'll drizzle in a little bit of cream.
All right.
Now it's all about to change.
Okay, now this is the highlight of my life.
I'm going to do some seasoning.
Wow.
Highlight of my life. I mean,
look at
I don't even know what to say about that. There's just so much goodness right there. Oh!
I think
okay, what are we going to do with that?
So now you can actually take your mozzarella that's... Oh, I see you were about to go for the mozzarella. You can sprinkle the mozzarella over. It doesn't have to go back into the oven. There's enough heat on the rolls right now to melt the mozzarella. So it's going to be amazing. I was going to say you don't have to use it all, but go for it.
I'll try not to use it all.
I'm going to pop the steak back into our sauce.
Okay.
The cream at the end was kind of optional, but I feel like the cream kind of just makes it a little more thick, a little more luxurious. How you doing there, Jeannie?
I mean, I'm literally salivating. This is going to be the most delicious thing ever. I'm a cheese addict.
There seems little point putting that cheese away now, is there really?
I'm not putting anything anywhere. It's all going on here.
All right. It's looking good, smelling good. Finish up with 2 more knobs of butter. And some seasoning.
Okay.
So a little salt and pepper. Don't worry about yours. Yours is going to come into the heat in a minute.
Yeah.
And there we go. Once that butter is melted, you can take it off the heat. It's not like it's like I said, the cream is optional, but the trinchado is done. You can smell the intensity of that beef stock, the brandy and the wine that's in there. And I know you're just eyeing those rolls over there.
No, I know, that's the highlight. But then how do we serve this? How is it eventually plated? Like in a bowl and we serve it with the roll, or what?
And you tear the roll off, kind of dunk it in the sauce. Get a
Oh,
mouthful of that.
yes.
Yeah, and then you're going for the meat as well. What do you think?
Well, I'm blown away. I cannot wait to get stuck in. So let us know at home how your meal went. All you need to do is tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the official hashtag Afternoon Express. We'd love to hear how your dish turned out. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Thanks
so
much.
How long are you going to still be in South Africa for? How long is the show still running for?
Another 10 days. The show is running right up until I think it's the 6th or the 7th of August over at the Baxter. So
all right. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Chef, for teaching me how to peel an onion. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll, of course, be back again tomorrow, same time, same place. Good night and happy eating.
This is your chance to win the home you've always dreamed of. SA's favorite interior design reality competition, Winner Home, sees 3 design duos transform empty spaces into lavish homes. And one of them could be yours. To enter, visit privateproperty.co.za and vote for your favorite design duo. Put yourself in line to win amazing prizes in the bi-weekly draw and automatically be entered for a chance to win the grand prize, your choice of one of 3 fully furnished designer homes in the Eye of Africa Golf and Residential Estate in the south of Joburg. The finished property will include luxurious finishes by Plascon and Caesarstone, as well as premier home appliances by Grundig, with a total prize value of more than 3 million rand. Competition details plus T's and C's can be found on the private property website. Watch the breathtaking properties come to life as the design drama unfolds and stand a chance to win the biggest prize on South African television, your very own dream home.
Search for a home on any device, anytime, anywhere. Private property, a home for everyone.
Coming up tomorrow on Afternoon Express, we sit down with Zoleka Mandela, activist, writer and granddaughter to the late Nelson Mandela, who opens up about the troubles of her past and her path to redemption. All of that tomorrow live at 4 p.m. on SABC3.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.